So what do you expect me to say?
Let's get him!
I know you feel this way. Coming after you.
Hey there, what's up internet? My name is BlackLightAttack and welcome to episode 16 of Super 2 Girlios 1 Cuppers. So, it's going to be a little bit different today. I am actually recording this in post. Normally, I do live commentary all throughout the Let's Play. I believe that's how Let's Play should be done. I know of a few people who do it in other, do it in post, which is fine. I don't think Let's Playing is really an exact science, but in my opinion, I always think that Let's Plays, when I think of a Let's Play, I think of someone doing live commentary throughout the entire playthrough of a game. And that's what this was intended to be, but I've been running into some serious issues. I just upgraded my CPU and my motherboard, and I think there was some issue with the audio drivers or something, because basically I recorded this entire episode twice, and both times it came out with a lot of static on it for some reason. Coming only when I said something. There was only static on it when I had Nikon Punch take a look at it. Mark, take a look at it. He's an audio file, so had him take a look at it, and he said it seemed to be maybe some sort of desync or maybe like a sampling issue. But basically it's unfixable, and that audio is not even close to salvageable. It's like a 35-minute commentary just like out the window. So that sucks. So I'm going to be doing this all in post, and I'll just be talking about what I was talking about in the first time I recorded this, because I don't want to go back and record it again, because that would actually be this will be the fourth time I'm recording this commentary. The first time I lost the footage, which I'll get to later. The second time I had an audio issue, and the third time I had an audio issue. So this is number 4. And I just didn't feel like recording the gameplay again, so I'm just going to do it in post. So yeah, here we're doing the, this is the 8 red coins in Piazza Village, and this is one of my favorite levels in the game, even though it can be kind of frustrating trying to find where all the coins are if you're not familiar with it. Now, as I said, I've done this 3 times, so I'm pretty good at it by now. But it can be a little frustrating at times, but basically, this is a unique level in the game. There's no other level like this in the game. It's a 8 red coins level, but rather than give you a time limit and then they're on a pretty obvious path of where they're laid out, and then you just got to grab them all before the timer runs out. This one is actually you have no time limit, and they're just really well hidden. And I think it's awesome because it sort of encourages exploration, and some of these levels are really seriously beautiful in this game, and they don't really give you any reason to explore them other than to just explore them just for the sake of exploration. And since it's a video game and you really should be working towards a goal anyway, this sort of incentivizes the whole exploring the levels thing. And this level in particular is really pretty, so honestly, I would have loved to have seen something like this in, like, Noki Bay, as long as they didn't do it in those bullshit wall glyphs that you always have to spray, and, like, that would be annoying if they were all over there. But other than that, I think Noki Bay is, like, probably the prettiest level in the game. Anyway, so yeah, it's been pretty frustrating trying to get this. I know that it's been, like, 2 weeks since I've uploaded a Mario Let's Play level. Actually, by the time you guys get this episode, it'll probably have been like 2.5 weeks or so. And I apologize for that. So I upgraded my computer. Specifically, I got a new CPU. I got an i7-3770K. It's an Ivy Bridge. It's a really nice processor. And for those of you who don't know anything about PC hardware, the CPU is basically the computer. Everything that the CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. And that is basically what the computer is. So if you replace the CPU, your hard drive, and specifically your operating system, don't really know what to do with the information that you're giving it, because they're like, this isn't the computer I'm installed on. This is the wrong computer, bro. Get me back on my computer. So what has to happen is you have to reformat your hard drive if you're going to be using the same hard drive, and reinstall your operating system. And I did this once before. And last time it didn't go so hot. I ended up bending some of the pins on the CPU socket on the motherboard and ruining it. So I ended up eating a $150 bill, basically, because I had to order another one. The motherboard is $150, and I destroyed it because I suck. So I bought a new one. I finally decided to get it in. I bought a new case and everything. I moved all my components and installed a new motherboard, new processor, new heatsink, and it actually went well. Now, last time I did this when I ruined it, I did format my C drive because I didn't realize the pins were bent, and I ended up losing all my information because I decided to back up my C drive using Windows imaging. Turns out Windows imaging is really only made to be a backup, not to transfer your stuff, which I didn't know. So when I tried to do it with Windows imaging, it ended up being pretty not good. It just didn't restore. It didn't want to restore the Windows image. So I ended up losing a lot of my files then. And I recovered them all. It took a while. I had to reinstall my Steam game, which is a pain in the ass, all my Steam games. So this time I upgraded my PC, and this time everything went swimmingly, at least on the physical side. When it came to actually installing the hardware components, everything went great. I was super careful. I think I know what I did last time. Actually, I don't know. I think what I might have done last time was I may have not had the CPU socket, the CPU in the socket very firmly, and I may have. I don't think it was seated white like 100% correctly, and I guess when I pulled down the latch, on the thing that secures it into the socket, I think it must have bent the pins. I'm not positive about that, but that's what I think happened. But it actually went fine this time. Everything went quite swimmingly. And then I went to restore my files, because this time I decided to back up my files just by copy and paste. I have two external drives that I use to hold all my footage, basically. My A and my B drive, and then my operating system is on my C drive, along with like a bunch of my games and stuff. So I had everything ready to go back up on the A drive, just manually copied and pasted. And I actually made a lot of use out of my like the My Documents and the My Videos folder. Now by default, and I never changed this, by default the HD PVR will record, which is what I use to record Super Mario Brothers and anything else on my anything on my consoles. The HD PVR will by default save everything to your My Videos folder, and you know, that's what I had. I didn't change that. So and in addition to that, all of my Sony Vegas projects, so all of my editing that was you know, still in production or whatever you want to call it, was still in progress. That was in my Documents folder. Now, it turns out, for some god-awful fucking reason, in Windows 7, in order to copy and paste those files, you need to set special administrator permissions on them, even if you're logged as an administrator. Now, Windows 7 has this really annoying bullshit where you have to be logged in as an administrator and allow things as an administrator to do like anything. If you want to install a program, you have to give it permission as an administrator, and that's a safety feature. So if like a program hijacks your computer, starts trying to install shit into your system folder, starts, you know, trying to give you a rootkit or whatnot, it says, hey, this is trying to make a change to your computer. Do you know this program? Do you trust this program? And if it's something that's hijacking your computer and you didn't tell it to do that, you say, no, fuck that, block that shit. But that's never happened to me. That is, I have never once needed the fucking thing. I never needed to be protected from the threat it's supposed to protect you from, and instead it's never been anything but a convenience. And now in this case, it's actually been a pretty big setback, because all of my stuff didn't carry over, because I didn't know this, but all those folders that I had all my shit saved in needed administrator permission in order to be copied to my external hard drive, or not to my external hard drive, but to my storage drive. So long story short, I lost all the Mario footage I had saved up, which was this episode and the episode where I did the Blue Coins of Serena Beach. I lost both of those, and I lost all my Vegas files, which included my 60-second Let's Play template and my one of the episodes of Pokémon that I was working on. That's really bad news. So anyway, what I'm doing here is I'm getting the secret star. I got the right coins done, so I'm getting the secret star. All you gotta do is stand on this platform at the top of the tree, aim at the sun, and then shoot, and there's this like secret star hidden in the sky. That is retarded. I don't know anybody who would have just thought to do that. Like, oh, hey, I'm on a platform that has a picture of the sun on it, has one of the sprites on it, then obviously that means I should spray water at the sun. Why not? Kind of cool, but kind of retarded at the same time. You may have also noticed that I have no shines. I have like 30 shines in this and like 0 blue coins. And that's because I had to use one of my other save files. I had to use a backup save file to get back to this point in the game and then do the stars that you guys missed from the first time I recorded it, because it was already completed on my regular file. And what will happen later is I will actually quit this file and then go back to the other file that I usually record my Let's Play on, and then continue from there. Now what I'm doing here is the 100 coins of Pianta Village. And I think this one takes me a little while because it's hard to remember where to get all the coins here. This is another one that's full of bullshit. Like, I couldn't have possibly known that without a guide moments. But anyway, so what was I? So I lost all my shit. I did lose the episode 2 of Pokemon. I'll give you guys some info on Pokemon. I'm usually very hush hush about Pokemon, but in regards to Platinum, episode 1 is done. Episode 1 is done and ready to go. And I really wanted to have episode 2 finished before 1 went live, and I did have it finished just about. I think it maybe needed a little bit of tweaking, like just really tiny stuff. I could have finished it in an afternoon, but I lost the Vegas file. Now, luckily, I still have all the footage. I have my voice recording. I have everything that I need to make it. I still have my background, my overlay. Thank God, because I spent hours and hours and hours and hours photoshopping that. But I lost the Sony Vegas file that had it all properly arranged in the episode, and that's a big pain in the ass because that took me like a week. I was working on that for like a week. So I'm pretty upset about that, especially because I can't use the progress I made on the first one. I have to rebuild it from scratch because I lost the project file of the first video as well. Now luckily the first video was actually rendered and ready to go, so the first episode is still intact, but the second one is gone. So I have to rebuild that. Now, as for Pokemon and why it's not out yet, even though episode 2 is done, is basically, even though I'm ready to go, we're making some changes on TGN. I told you guys it'll be on TGN, and they're actually doing things a bit differently. I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to tell you guys this. I can't imagine they would want to hide this. I would imagine they want people to know what's going on. But basically, in order to pimp out their new Let's Play channel, TGN is taking all of their strongest Let's Players, I think it's 3 or 4 of us, and putting them all on one channel to try to kickstart this Let's Play channel, which I'm fine with. I don't really think it's going to hurt views in the long run. I don't really care, and even if it does, I'm really not somebody who just view whores. I don't really care all that much. So they asked me, like, would it be cool if, you know, it's not called channel, it's not called TGN Central anymore. It's Channel TGN is what they're calling it now. But they were like, is it cool if we post the first 2 or 3 episodes on Channel TGN and then make a move to the Let's Play channel? And I was like, yeah, let's do that. So that's what's going to happen with you guys. Now, there should be just a show that you can subscribe to, so that you don't have to subscribe to either of these channels and try to like keep up and be like, wait, which one am I supposed to be subscribed to again? And not to mention, I will also be discussing it on my channel when it hits. You know, so anyway, those are all the changes that are being made in regards to Pokemon Platinum. And TGN specifically. TGN's making a lot of changes in their infrastructure and the way that they work. I need to be talking to this one dude who I just haven't gotten in contact with yet, who is I actually forget what he does. Everybody has like a new job in TGN. There's like so many new people that like I haven't kept up with any of them because I've just been working on my personal channel. I haven't done anything with TGN in forever. I am partnered through them still, but I took a lot of time off, and all the time that I was sitting on Pokemon and not working on Pokemon, I was just working on my personal channel, so I have no idea what's going on in TGN. I can't keep up with them. They have like a new mission, whatever, like every week it seems like to me, which is fine. You know, they're always trying new things, and I'm all about trying new things, but I can't keep up. So that's I need to talk to some guy before it actually gets started. I think he's the guy who's starting the Let's Play channel, and not who's starting it, but who's going to be in charge of it. And once I get situated with him, I'll be able to get that up for you guys. and it should happen sometime soon. Anyway, moving on from that, and yes, I gave you information about Pokemon. Let's please keep the comments about Pokemon to a minimum. Like if you're like, yay, Pokemon, that's awesome, that's fine. I love that people are excited about it. I'm just really sick of being asked when it's happening because I still don't know. I would tell you guys if I knew. Actually, I probably wouldn't because I really wanted to keep it a surprise. I really wanted to just be one day like, hey, what's up? Pokemon's here. Bye. And just fucking drop it. Drop it like a fucking sack of potatoes right at your feet and just bail. Because I think that would have psyched a lot of people up. But everything's happening so gradually now, and it's just not really... you know, I guess it's not really in everybody's best interest for me to stay silent about it and leave everybody in the dark. So right here in the game, I'm trying to figure out where the last coins are. Here's another weird moment. You gotta stomp the mushrooms, that's weird. Then you gotta stomp this dude's nose, that's weird. And then I get lost for a while trying to find the last bit of coins, and then I stomp. I finally figure it out. And it's another place, just this arbitrary ass place that you gotta stomp. There's just like hidden coins all over this level. Anyway, what else? Oh, so you know what happened? This was bullshit. Now, just continuing my horrible luck whenever I get new PC. Like, whenever you upgrade your PC, if you're a big PC gamer, upgrading your PC should be a joyous occasion. You should be like, yes, I finally got new components. I'm going to install them. My computer's going to run great. It's going to be so awesome. But nothing ever goes my way. Nothing ever works the way I want it to. Nothing ever goes smoothly. So, you know, I upgraded my CPU and motherboard, and the first time I ruined a motherboard, ate a $150 bill. Lesson learned. It's an expensive lesson, but it's a lesson learned. And then I finally got that in. It worked fine. I had some issues last time I upgraded. I think when I upgraded my video card, I had some issues with that. And then this time, this last upgrade that I just did, I told you guys I moved everything into a new case. Well, while I was ordering the case, I was like, okay, well, there's some other things I need too. My headset fucking blows. The headset that I'm wearing right now, it's a fucking piece of shit. The Psycho Audiolabs Kryptons, total fucking piece of shit. I would say I wouldn't recommend them, but Psycho Audiolabs went out of business and they deserve it because they suck. But anyway, the Kryptons are just garbage. So I was like, all right, I'll get a new headset. Everybody's recommending the Siberia V2s. So I ordered a pair of Siberia V2s and a webcam, new webcam, so I could so for when I'm streaming. I have a camera that also functions as a webcam, but it's really unreliable and will just like randomly switch out. You have to like plug it in the USB, and then you can either set it, since it's a camera itself, you can either set it to storage mode, which is how you get your files from the camera to the PC, or you can set it to webcam mode. So I'll set it to webcam mode and use it like that. But it keeps, for some reason, it keeps switching out of webcam mode. So it's unreliable. So I just said screw it, ordered a new Logitech. I think it was a Logitech webcam. I haven't set it up yet because I haven't live streamed yet. I got that all ready to go. I got that. I got Final Fantasy IV on PSP. You know, I ordered a couple other things. I got like static wrist strap for when I upgraded the PC, and so I ordered all this stuff. It shows up, and of course, the first thing I did was I wasn't ready to upgrade my computer yet because I needed a couple hours for that because I'm not experienced at upgrading computers, and I wanted to completely redo my cable management, so I knew it was going to take a while. So I was like, all right, I'm not ready to upgrade the PC yet, but I can at least get this headset in. Let's fucking rock this new headset. Opened it up, got it in. It sounded great. It was just so much nicer than the Kryptons. You know, I hear the mic's not that good. It's not a big deal. I mean, the fucking mic on my Kryptons literally fell apart, just fell off the headset. And I mentioned that early in another commentary. So I got the Siberias in, and I'm sitting there using Siberias, loving them. Go to bed, get up for work the next day. You know, do my little morning ritual on the PC, and of course the Siberias are great then in the morning too. I come home and the wire's just jacked out of the fucking socket. I was like, what the fuck? I was livid. You have no idea how mad I was. I had opened them the night before, and just the wire is just ripped out of the socket. There's like the little volume pad. There's like a little square of plastic in the middle of the wire, which has a volume slider on it, and you can mute your mic from there too. There, finally found out where all those coins were. So it's got that little square in the middle, and the mic is just ripped out of that. I was like, the wire is just ripped out of that. I was like, what the fuck happened? I was like, was it like caught in my chair or something, and I spun around and it ripped it out, or did one of my dogs do it? Like, what the hell? So I get home late. This is already like 11:30 at night. So I can't ask anyone. Everyone's asleep. I can't ask some. You know, my brother's awake. I asked him if he knew anything about it. He didn't know anything about it, and I was just so pissed. So I get up the next day. I go to work again, and I'm still just fucking livid. I have to hook up my shitty Kryptons again, and this $90 headset is now completely destroyed. So the next day I go to work. My mom's at work too, and so I called her. I called her at work and asked her if she knew anything. Bruno, my new dog, he was in my room. And what happened was, I usually keep a trash can right next to my room, right next to my computer tower in my room, and the dogs love digging in the trash. So recently, I moved the trash can so that they wouldn't be able to get it. I moved it up into a high place. It's sitting on my bureau now, and there they can't reach it, but they haven't learned yet, but neither of my dogs have learned yet that the trash can isn't there, because they're so used to going over there and digging in the trash and, you know, fucking eating trash because they're dogs. So he goes over there and somehow got the wire tangled up in his collar. And my mom called him, you know, Bruno, come here. And he ran off and just yanked it out of the socket and dragged it with him. And he had the thing dangling in his collar. I don't know what kind of fucking luck I have. I mean, he didn't do it on purpose. I'm not mad at him. Oh yeah, here I'm showing off my files. I got the one in the middle is my first playthrough from a while ago. A used to be, I think, my brother's file, and I deleted it so I could do the Let's Play. And then C is my backup file that I use whenever I fuck up and lose my footage and I have to play through the game again. But anyway, so it's not like he did it on purpose. It's not like he chewed it up. It's not like a matter of he didn't know better. It was just an accident. But luckily, the way that it was just yanked out, it looked like it could have been like just a shipping issue or something. Like, I don't know. It doesn't look like a dog did it, basically, because it was just yanked straight out. And you know, if he had like chewed it up or something, I would have been fucking furious with him. But he actually doesn't do that. He doesn't really chew things he's not supposed to, which is great. Our other dog, Chobi, our old German Shepherd, she never did. But she was also really well trained by the time we got her. Because when we got her, she was already 2, and she was from a breeder and all that. So she was actually supposed to be a show dog, but got too big. She's way too big for a female. Here we're getting the shine. We're gonna work on the shines in Isle Delfino, and she never chewed anything. She was already really well trained. Bruno, I thought might have some issues because he's an adoption shelter dog, and he's not he wasn't raised properly, but he's a good boy. He's really great. And this was just an accident, so I'm not mad at him. But basically, what I do is I packaged it up and RMA'd it back to Newegg, and I'm really hoping that they believe me when I say it showed up like that. I really hope they buy that, because I'm gonna be so pissed if I have to spend. I already fucked up my motherboard, spent $150, and then had to buy a second one, so $300 total for my motherboard. I'm gonna be really pissed if the same thing happens, even though this one wasn't my fault, and I have to buy a second headset. You have no idea how mad I'm gonna be. So I do not have good luck. So it's just sort of like this by association thing has happened, where I should be excited for new computer upgrades and new computer equipment and shit like that, but I'm just not, because every time I get it, nothing ever goes my way. I have really awful luck with that. On the plus side, though, I have had really excellent luck on TF2 recently with my items. I started trading a bit. I always like stockpiled my items. I was always like, I don't know if I should really sell anything until I'm I don't know that I should sell anything until I can find a really good price, but I wasn't much of a trader, so I didn't really have the patience to sit around in a trade server or online in a forum or something and just look for someone who's enough of a sucker to buy something for a bit more than it's worth, and just like, you know, try to make a tiny bit of profit. Like, no, fuck that. So I always didn't want to let it go for cheap, so I just amassed all this shit. in TF2, a bunch of hats and promo items, strange weapons and stuff. And recently I decided I was going to sell off just all my shit and just buy a fuckload of fancy fedoras for the spy. Just a ton of fancy fedoras. Because for the longest time, fancy fedora was my hat. Because I play spy as a main and I wear a fedora in real life. Recently I switched to the hat of cards just because I think it looks better, and it's basically the fancy fedora. It's almost identical to the fancy fedora, but it has 2 cards in it and a belt buckle style strap, which I think looks sick. I would love to have a hat with a belt buckle style strap, but I've never found one yet that fits me, or that looks good on me. So I mean, I own 4 hats, four fedoras, but I usually only wear one at a time. But I think next time I buy a fedora, I'm gonna try to make it a one of the ones with the belt buckle strap, because I think that looks sick. Because all of them have a band around the base of the hat where it meets the brim, and this one just looks like a belt on there. So I wear that on the spy now, and I decided I was gonna use all my shit and just buy a ton of fancy fedoras. So I have like 10 fancy fedoras now, and like 4 hat of cards. And what we're doing here is the 100 coins of Isle Delfino. And I think I get like 3 blue coins, which is so annoying because you guys know I don't like to get the blue coins until I'm going to do the blue coin episode. I get like 3 blue coins just doing that because I'm in the sewers now and I can't see shit. Anyway, so I amassed all these hats. Why did I amass all the hats, you say? Well, I'm going to start live streaming again soon. I'm back on a hardwired connection, but my connection's still fucked up. For those of you who didn't know, I had a fucked up, really slow connection for the longest time on my computer, and I thought that it was the Ethernet port on my motherboard going bad. Well, I just replaced my motherboard, and I still have shitty connection speeds. So now I'm thinking it's probably the Ethernet cable. It's either got to be the Ethernet cable, because basically I have this set up where it goes from my computer to the wall, and then from the wall to a wall socket in the other room, and then out of that, the wall socket into the router. So one of those cables must have gone bad, because I mean the router's really old, that's true, and the router sucks, and that needs to be replaced. But my brother is on the same router, and he gets just fine connection speeds. So it's got to be one of my cables. But anyway, once I get that fixed, then I'm going to start live streaming again, and I want to have something to give out to people. And I figure since I usually stream TF2, and I have this community who knows me, knows everybody likes to play spy, and because I'm a spy player, and they all know I wear a hat, might as well give out fancy fedoras to my stream followers. And so I'll be doing that sometime sooner or later. There's a fucking blue coin, and obviously, I'm going to need a lot of them. I don't want to just get one hat and just give away a hat, because I mean the hats aren't even worth that much. A fancy fedora is basically a craft hat. I think it's worth 1.33 to 1.66 refined, which is like 1 refined and 2 reclaimed, or 1 reclaimed. For those of you who don't know who don't play TF2, you probably have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. But they're not very expensive hats. They're the price of a craft hat. Not a craft number hat, a craft hat, like one that you would craft down to try to make a better hat. For me, they have a bit of an importance just for what it is. And yeah, I'm gonna be giving them out, and so sorry, I totally got sidetracked what I was talking about. So I amassed a whole bunch of hats, and eventually I decided, okay, I think I got enough hats. I got like 15 hats sitting around that I can give out. And I was like, well, might as well still keep selling stuff because I got all this shit, and it is kind of nice. I was selling everything at pretty cheap prices on Reddit. Reddit has a really great trade forum. TF2 Trade is a really great subreddit. Now, a lot of Reddit has its issues, especially the main, like any default subreddits have like really terrible communities. But TF2 Trade is full of a bunch of really awesome people, and a lot of them are really just super nice. Really great traders, definitely better than anybody you're going to find on like a trade server in TF2. Everybody who frequents trade servers is, in my experience, total dickwad. So I got up on there, I'm selling all this shit, and eventually I just found myself with like all this stuff, just all this meddling keys, because I was just selling everything for meddling keys, which are like the main the main currency of TF2 is metal, keys, Bill's hat, earbuds, basically. Man, I just had all these keys, so I ended up opening a ton of shit, and that didn't go so well. Because I opened all these crates with all the keys I had traded for, because I was just hoping for an unusual. I had like 10 keys, and I was like, alright, well, 10 keys, I got a 2% chance on each crate of creating an unusual, and if I get an unusual, there's a good chance I could be set for life, unless it's a shitty hat or shitty effect. Didn't get the unusual, so that sucks. But then I had 2 crate 31s, and crate 31 has three weapons that are worth absolutely nothing. You have like the Mad Milk, half Zatoichi, and something else, I forget. But they're all worth jack shit. But then there's the Strange Degreaser in there as well, and the Strange Degreaser is worth 2 keys. So if you spend a key, open up the crate, get a Strange Degreaser, you just doubled your profit. So I had 2 crate 31s and 2 keys left that I hadn't used to unlock anything. And I opened them up, and motherfucker, 2 Degreasers. 2 crates, 2 Degreasers. I was like super lucky. So I'm trying to sell them now. I got, try to get some more keys, maybe unbox some more shit. I bought so much. Oh, and then not only that, but I ended up completing my scout loadout. I was super lucky in that there's a really rare item called the essential accessories for the scout, which is this set of green tube socks and sneakers for the scout. And they're really rare because the only way to get it was to pre-order Monday Night Combat, the first Monday Night Combat on PC within a certain date range a long time ago. And no one did that. No one pre-ordered the game because nobody knew anything about it. And it turned out like nobody ended up buying it on PC anyway. If anybody who did play it, usually played it on Xbox. Turns out Hexadecimal John had pre-ordered it, and he just gave me the essential accessories just because he didn't play TF2. He just gave them to me. They're worth like I think 6 to 7 keys, which is each key if you were to translate into real life money. Well, you buy them for $2.50 on the store, but they're actually worth about half that, $1.25. So that's like that's like $7-8.5 that he just gave to me just because we're friends, which was really nice of him. And so basically I told him that I have an offer standing that if he ever wants like a $10 game on Steam, then I'll buy him that. That was super nice of him. Somebody on Twitter just gave me a strange scattergun, just straight out gave me. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want people hounding him for items, because I don't want anybody to think that he's a charity case. Or a charity giver just because he gave me an item. Just straight up gave me a scattergun, which is super nice of him. Strange scattergun. And then I crafted 2 shitty hats together. In TF2, you can take 2 hats, craft them together, and get 1 random hat. So obviously you're out a hat, but it's basically a gamble because more than likely you're going to end up with a hat that's equally shitty as the 2 that you crafted down, and it's not going to be worth anything. But in this case, it paid off. I crafted 2 shitty hats together that are worth like 1.33 rev, and ended up with the Kringle collection, which is like the Santa coat for the soldier. So awesome! It looks so good, and it's worth like I think 4 keys. So that's a huge profit. So yeah, I've been really lucky in TF2 recently. I also made a few sales. Some dude bought my Strange Pool Caber, which is a shitty weapon, but it's still worth like 5 or 6 keys because. Or 6 or 7 keys, I think, because it's super rare. And I was able to open more crates and shit. And then I ended up buying like the Birdman of Aberdeen for the demo man. Anyway, those of you who don't play TF2 probably didn't care about anything I just said, but that's gonna be it. That's number 88. Thank you for watching, guys. I'm sorry for the post commentary, and I didn't really talk too much about the gameplay like I usually do in a live commentary, but I'm trying to make do with what I got, so I hope you guys don't mind. And we'll get back to the regularly commentated whatnot later. So go ahead and like the video if you liked it. Next episode is going to be back to the normal style, and it's also, I think, going to be the last episode, so stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys later.